Hey everybody, this is Harshit back with another video, and in this video, this is going to be more of a tips and tricks of using Cursor, one of the best coding tools for non-developers and non-coders. So by now you guys already know the composer and also the chat feature, but the most important thing here is that I've been facing a lot of issues with the composer chat. The problem is that every time I give it a big prompt, it just keeps going on with it and then it starts omitting my entire code base. So that's a very big problem that I face. As you can see, this is something that I wanted to show because I just asked it something and guess what? I'm not able to do a Control Z. I'm trying Control Z. I'm still not able to retrieve the chat. So it's always better to go ahead and always have it on your notes section because in that case, even if you lose your prompts, you'll always have it on your database, right? So the main problem here is, okay, so I've given it a prompt, I'm trying to debug something, and as you can see, it's just trying to omit my entire code base. Like, it's just omitting so much of my code base, and the problem that I have with AI coding is that, it's very hard to debug firstly, and if you're a non-coder, you wouldn't know how to debug. That's one of the problems that I'm facing as well. And I'm also going to give you the solution of how to, work around with it. That's a major problem that I face here, right? It just keeps omitting the code base. And my point is, if you were supposed to omit this code base, why did you even give me this in the first place? Because another important problem here is that it just keeps getting some lint errors. And in Composer, you can't go more than 25 chats. After 25 chats, it's just going to buffer. It's just going to start buffer. That's because agentic AI on Composer doesn't really work that great. So what I'll say is, if you're trying to debug something really important, always have your code, always have your prompts on your notes section, on your notes anywhere, right? And then go back to chat and then chat with it again. So I've just given it a big prompt of exactly what I want to do. And here's the most important thing that I do, right? As you can see, I just did add code base. Always add the add code base here, and also always keep adding all the files here, all the files that you want to work with, right? So that's exactly what I did. And guess what? If I try to do the same thing, if I do the same code base thing, it doesn't show up. It doesn't show up on Composer, but it shows up on chat. I don't know why that is. It's a very nice feature to have if you're using Composer, because I think Cursor has just shipped the Composer just half baked. It doesn't really work that well. I don't know why AI is, Claude 3.5 is hallucinating so much. It's just hallucinating a lot lately. And that's why it's, causing a lot of problems, omitting my entire code base. That is really, really irritating for me, right? So that's one of the tips that I want to share with you guys. And another trick is actually a little weird. I don't know if you'd like it, but for example, what I do here is that you guys are able to see this, right? This is basically a hand drawing of the problem that I face. So in a book, I just drew with a pen, with a simple pen. I just drew everything, the problem that I think there is. The problem with non-coders, right? Because for me, I'm a very visual person. I have to see to properly understand, right? Let me just, enough of this. But hope you guys get it. I really have to see to properly understand what the problem is. And if I'm not able to see it, I won't be able to understand it. So that's why, I just simply drew this. Maybe if you have an iPad, you can just do it on an iPad or just use a Miro board or anything. But it was just easy for me to do this. And simply, what I simply did was, I just sent this image. I just took a screenshot of this, sent this image on my AirDrop on my Mac, and just added this here. And why would this help? When you're prompting, you're just gonna say, basically, what I drew is my understanding of what the problem is. So you can have anything, right? The problem could be anything. But if you just tell the AI that, hey, this is what I think the problem is, now can you help me out? I think that would really help a lot in prompt engineering. So just consider this as a prompt engineering Cursor tips and tricks. It gets a little hard, in the end when you're trying to code as a complete non-coder, but there's still workarounds. You just need a little bit of patience and you will be able to do it. So that's all, I guess. It's definitely a level playing field for everybody who cannot code, and now they can. But it does take patience to properly accomplish the task, because there are so many errors, so many times, the code base keeps breaking, the AI keeps hallucinating, the AI keeps omitting a lot of these code bases, right? So you just keep telling it, hey, don't omit my code base. Make sure you completely retain my code base. And if you guys want another trick, I just saved this on my notes. I'm just going to share this as well. Just a second. Yes. So this is a simple prompt that I just want to share with you guys. Here, as you can see, it just says, keep in mind, number 1, retain the existing changes and fixes. Number 2, incorporate new fixes or changes on top of existing code. Number 3, for every new iteration, ensure that the previously applied changes are not lost and are considered as base for any new fixes. And number 4, ensuring that previous bug fixes are retained and new fixes do not reintroduce old issues. So these 4 important points are very important. I'm just going to drop it down in the description for you guys, so just simply copy paste. It's a very important prompt, I feel, because this actually prevents the AI from hallucinating. So just to summarize, if you're trying to do something, a very important code, if it's just front end, Composer is fine. But if you're trying to debug something really important, something very critical, always move to chat, because with chat you have a lot more context than just Composer. And sometimes Composer doesn't listen to you, right? You can't stop it in between. It just keeps going on. You just can't stop it in between. And when you do, it just loses the entire previous context. And then it says, oh, I see you added a code base. Let me give you all the files. And then it literally created an entire code base. It was of no use, right? So that's just another thing that I wanted to share. So the key takeaway, guys, have patience. This will happen. It's possible that you can code, you can ship actual products, but it does take a little patience. And with this, I think you can ship. And thanks again. For more tips and tricks about Cursor, AI tools, follow me, subscribe to my channel. Peace.